For me, when I have a client that is traveling, most times it is leisurely because they're busy running their business and doing the domesticated travel between several homes. So it's always that fun conversation. So my travel with my clients are usually fun because they want to go to a cool new spot. And most times they're calling me to ask me where do I think they should go on vacation that I enjoy. And I usually give them a list of places. 90% of them, they want to go to Europe because it's usually going to be a summertime type of trip. And I usually give them a list of 5 top places that are trending, and they'll review it. And once they reviewed and narrowed it down, then we start to get the information on that particular city or multiple cities. And then we put a soft itinerary together based on their needs, wants, and desires. If there's certain places that they want to visit, we'll do the research. And once we're there, we have now a curated plan for them. We set them up to leave. And then, this is how we tied in with the business, because now they have their curated itinerary for Europe, and we will then pick them up. Our chauffeurs will pick them up, take them to the airport, and our driver will run through that morning, like, do they have their passports, their wallets, do they change over money? He'll go through basic steps with them to make sure that they're ready for the trip, because we've had situations where we got to the airport and a client says, oh my goodness, I forgot one of the passports, and have to go home. So now we actually have a list that we'll go through with them in the car before we actually get to the airport to help them. If they have a lot of children, we'll do a list on some basic packing things that they should have, or help them to pack a little bit more efficiently and not have so many suitcases if it's a family for 4, and we'll go through like the basics they should have and bring a raincoat and an umbrella and just these few things that I think adds value to them that they actually appreciate.
A lot of times our clients are a little different than yours. They'll be taking trips between states where they have multiple homes here, and they take their pets with them, so that comes up a lot for us.
Okay.
So we usually have to check with the airlines. They're really strict if you're flying in first class that you can't have more than 1 pet in the cabin. So if there's already a pet booked on that flight, we do a lot of shuffling around to make sure that they can get on a flight with their pets or multiple pets. We make sure the groceries are in place when they get to their second home. And then we do home checks on the home that they've left. We make sure the mail's taken in and everything is running properly for them. So we do everything from, like we schedule the car service, we schedule their flights, and we just take care of both homes on each end so that they're able to get there and relax and not think about anything else. But we do a lot of travel like that. So when we used to travel, we as a family traveled back and forth from the US to Europe, and I had 3 children at that time. So it's having a plan where they all know what their role is when you travel. That's a huge thing. If they know what their space is, like we used to get off in a certain order. My oldest son got off first, we put the middle son between us, and then we had the car seat and the youngest one. They each had to carry their own backpacks. So making sure that they have things that entertain them but aren't too heavy that becomes a cumbersome thing that the parent has to be responsible for. Making sure your stroller or your car seat is tagged and is going to be easily manageable. They have a lot of great things now where you can strap your stroller right to this little platform, and it's like a piece of luggage, and it makes it easy to get everybody from where they need to go, and then you're ready to go with the rental car. But I think helping parents, they're already packing, and if any woman is like us, they overpack. So you want to make sure that you're packing just what you need for your children and not too much. So you had great tips about like packing the umbrella and looking ahead at what the weather is and helping to manage that, and set expectations is always a great way to just alleviate some of the stress of traveling with children, having snacks packed, those kind of things that we take care of.
So we have a lot of seniors because some of our executives, they have their parents that live with them and they have different challenges. So we make sure, similar to if you have a child, that we call the airline and make sure if they are special needs or hearing, or they need a wheelchair, if there's special meals that they need, we'll set that all up prior to. And when we do drop them off at the airport, 9 out of 10 times we will go in and get the wheelchair person to come outside to actually put them in the wheelchair. They kind of change it up a little bit lately, so they want you to come inside, but our driver goes inside and gets the wheelchair, or the person that has the wheelchair, and brings it out to that senior, make sure that they're in and they have all of their documentation and their ID. We've had some seniors that have traveled by themselves, so then it becomes a little bit more challenging, but then we're responsible for their luggage, for them, for all the ID, and making sure that they get to the gate safely. And that's one of the things that we do when we're transporting or getting our seniors on a flight.
We do work with college students, so we can help coordinate by getting their tickets for them, making sure they either have car service, which is usually what's preferred. You're sending your college student off to a new city, you don't want them taking an Uber by themselves. We can pre-stock their dorm or pack for them on the way out, so they're not managing all of those details in a city where they're not familiar. So that's a lot of what we do on the college end for students that are coming and going. Also arranging for parents that are coming in for the weekend for a visit, making sure the hotel is arranged, making sure they have car service, and aligning flights for everybody. It's all just the parts and pieces of the everyday things that we do for the families that we all work with.
If they need their dorm set up, that's a service that Nicole or my company could provide for them, making sure that it's furnished, or if they have special pieces, bed linen that they want, making sure that's all put in place, and that they literally are just walking into a dorm that's already set up for them. Our list of services that we provide for clients that are traveling would include a packing list for them, arranging transportation, or our chauffeur service would pick up the client, ensuring that they have all their items once they're in the vehicle.
Well, we take care of making sure either the pet is booked on the flight, or we've arranged the pet sitter for them that's going to stay home, getting groceries delivered to where they're going to be, or making sure that when they come home from travel, the refrigerator is not empty, that they've got everything they need for coffee and breakfast the next morning, or whatever the weekend looks like for them. That's a huge piece of the extended service that we both provide.
I think travel is no longer what it used to be. I started traveling from very young, being born in London, and I was on a plane from 2 years old, and I've seen how the travel industry has changed over the past 20 years of my life. And now it is a stress, and I think that clients are happy to know that it's a relief, that they don't have to worry about it, that all the things that they may not remember or know, that we're giving them that information, and we're planning and preparing everything for them. For them, they just show up. They have their tickets. We've made any special accommodations for everyone. And I think there's a relief to know that it's not an additional task that they have to worry when they're running a business or they're busy with other things that they enjoy doing. I think the joy of having a concierge company is giving them peace of mind and the gift of time, and that's what we try to provide at AW Concierge.
Absolutely agree. Yeah, just alleviating the stress and all the thought process of all the details, that just, it removes that, allows them to, like Anthea said, be able to know that everything has been booked, everything's been taken care of, and all you have to do is get there and then be able to relax and enjoy the life that they all work really, really hard for.